Howdy, bourbon fans, and welcome to another episode of Round the Barrel. Today we are shooting a video on double oaked bourbons, so really excited about this one. As always, my co-host JR.
JR with the Whiskey and Rock podcast.
So tell us a little bit, what makes a double oak and why is it still considered a bourbon?
So double oaked is finished in a secondary barrel, American oak barrel. What makes it still a bourbon is that it still meets the criteria for bourbon. So it's 51% corn as a minimum. It's barreled in a new American oak, and it's made in America.
And the second barrel is still...
And the second barrel is also American oak.
Which is why we can still call it a bourbon by definition. So we have two other wonderful guests with us today. First of all, the head of Whiskey University. I'm usually talking about that. I'm going to let Colonel Duncan do that today. You want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure, I'm Colonel Craig Duncan from Whiskey University. Been doing a school since 2009, teaching people about wonderful things about whiskey.
And our other guest, Scotty. What's going on, Scott?
Hey, I'm Scott Laughlin, executive bourbon steward, but really just a bourbon enthusiast.
So, and I met Scott at the holiday dinner at Jim Beam a couple of years ago.
That's right.
And then a few months later, we're like, hey, let's take a weekend to go to Kentucky. And both of our wives looked at us like, well, about to be your wife.
Yes.
Looked at us and went, you don't know this person very well. And I went, he drinks bourbon. He's fine. It's all good. So,
Great.
and we actually had a really good time.
Yeah.
So, yes, and still hang out today drinking bourbon. So, bourbon brings people together, as we've always said. So, really quickly, let's go ahead and get started on our samples for today that we've got lined up. Again, we tried to keep these things that are readily available, at least for the first part, and those things that you can typically get your hands on, reasonable pricing, etc., those kinds of things for our double oak choices for this video. We are going to start with, I think what I personally think of every time I think of double oak bourbons is Woodford.
Yep.
I think Woodford's probably the most common in that group. So that is going to be our first sample of the day. We have already poured that one, but this particular Woodford is not a store pick. I thought it was, but it's not. This is the regular standard Woodford double oak pick. So, guys, let's have a little. Tell us what you think. As if we've never had it before. But for me, Woodford is the quintessential double oak, and this is also probably my favorite product that Woodford offers. Period.
Yeah, this is the bourbon that got me into bourbon. Like
Really?
Outside of having Jack and like a Four Roses single barrel, what really started me down the path of like wanting to explore bourbon was Woodford Double Oaked.
Well, there you go. So, coming across.
Deep caramel, not overly oaky. It's there, but not in your face about it. This was actually my first ever store pick.
Okay, there are a lot of store picks.
It was a Woodford double oak called Little Diabetes, and it was great.
So, do you have diabetes?
I do not.
So, see, it's mislabeled though.
We also did a store pick of Woodford way back in the day and labeled Morning Wood. So
I remember Morning Wood.
I will tell you, I get a great affection for woody bourbons, and this one's kind of deep on the scale. I'd say a good 7.5 on that scale of 10. The history is the better part about this particular bourbon, because, I mean, the fact that they bought the distillery from LeBroux Graham in 1941, sold it in 1972 when bourbon was going like this.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, bourbon starts getting hot again. So what do they do in 1992, 20 years later? They had to pay the farmer that bought it from him, raising soybeans, 4 times the price that they sold it for. And it was out in the middle of nowhere. But they started bottling this, and in 1996 created Woodford Reserve. And at first they didn't even have the name.
And it is a beautiful distillery if you do get the opportunity to go and see tidbits like that. That's why you go to Whiskey U. So I also am a Whiskey U instructor, and now something with the audio team. I don't really know what that's about yet. We haven't figured that one out yet, the social media or whatever.
Social media.
I still can't even remember to tell them to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. So like and subscribe. Share the video with everyone that you find would be interesting or not. I don't know. Whatever. So Woodford Double Oak, thumbs up.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
This I started with this one because I kind of thought this was the one that we're going to be comparing pretty much everything to. It's the most renowned on the market, etc. So I'm not going to not drink it.
It's the standard.
So our second one is the only one I think that's not listed as a double oak on the bottle directly, or at least very visible, and that is the 1910 their Old Forester. It is the final whiskey, but it is a double oak. So if you see it on the bottle there in the front, it does say double oak on it. It's not as pronounced as the rest of the bottles that we'll be having this evening. So I know how I feel about this one. I know how I feel about the series, period, with Old Forester, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think.
About the series?
About this one in particular.
You looking for the notes or a little history?
Everything. Just, again,
Very first double oak in history. By accident.
okay, I didn't know that.
1910.
I
Which
know
is
that.
the year it's named after.
I didn't know that.
They had a very bad weather storm, ripped off part of the roof of the bottling line, and the bottling line was completely shut down. They couldn't fix it. They weren't going to leave the bourbon exposed. So at that point in time, they basically decided to put it back in a new charred oak barrel. At the time, they could have put it back in the existing barrels, but believe it or not, that would disqualify it from being bourbon because you put it in a used cooperage. The minute you put it into anything that contained liquid before, it disqualifies it from being bourbon. However,
Just a whiskey.
it came out of the same barrel. You wouldn't think that would be the case, but based on the government regulations, it does. So they put it in a new charred oak barrel.
Dang government.
And it was forgotten about for years and years and years until the parent company, Brown-Forman, in 1996 resurrected the 1910 experiment with the double oak.
And that's how we get 1910. So there you go. See, we're gonna have wonderful little tidbits like that. So,
I don't have to talk all
1910.
night.
You're good. So 1910. You've had the series.
I have.
What is your favorite in the series?
I
already know.
Yeah, probably the Prohibition.
The 1920, which is also mine. I'm the same way. But 1910 for me is right up there. I enjoy this one as well.
I enjoy 1910, 1920 is fantastic. I would say, comparing it to what we just had, to me, this is a little sweeter. Mm-hmm. Still get good notes of the barrel, of the oak, but just a slight bit sweeter than this particular. I mean, I've had some really sweet Woodford double oaks too.
Right.
But just in terms of standard shelf products,
See, it to me it has kind of like a dry bite on the back.
it is a little bit dry.
It's got a nice little sort of like,
Right on.
it's very sweet when it comes in, and but as it's swallowed and as it starts to dry in the mouth, you feel that little. It's almost like it contracts in your tongue and gives you this a little extra hit of. I want to say a little caramel in there. No maple. That's a story for another day.
That is a great story.
Yes, it is. But again, damn good. Old Forester, good job. I don't think they're going to any thumbs down on that one. So another good bottle in the series. So as they've added the 24 bottle, which just came out again for the second time this year. So our next two samples.
By the way, it's the most popular of the series, even though three of us like the 1920 better. But it is the most popular of the 5 brands.
See, I didn't know it was the first one. So see, bringing value to your lives through this video. You now know the first double oak bourbon was 1910 Old Forester, which I didn't even know that. That was I've probably been told that. I just don't remember it. We have a few drinks during class, by the way. So if you do take some classes with Whiskey U and you'd like to learn about Whiskey University, I'm going to go ahead and talk about them while we are pouring our next two samples. So I started Whiskey University about 3 years ago at this point. I've been teaching, actually teaching my first international class here coming up very soon. And we're hoping that these people in Scotland and England and Ireland can actually understand what I'm saying. So I'm a little nervous about that, to be honest with you. But
Tone your country down.
and also the vice versa side of that though too, because I do worry about understanding what they're saying as well. But if you'd like to participate and find some information about Whiskey University, you can leave some comments in the comments section or visit us at whiskeyuniv.com, and we'd love to introduce the school to you. It has done wonders for me. I am here with these fine folks because of it and absolutely love it. So I have absolutely nothing negative to say as we move into sample number 3.
Question for you: when somebody shares this video, do you have track of those people that share it?
You're well beyond my technical knowledge.
Oh, so I don't know that. I'm curious.
I don't think so.
I
but
was just thinking, if you could figure out anyone who liked and shared, give them a free tuition voucher for 5 classes.
there we go. Look at that. So see a little bit. So if you're watching this video and you do that, let us know and we'll do that for you. So we offer over 120 classes at this point. So 5 classes is a smaller one. So
People who comment.
and then comment. So great suggestion from our wonderful camera guy. Turn around, take a peek. So say hi. He does a fantastic job. Love him to death. Appreciate everything he does.
Ryan, thank you. And does that include good comments and bad comments?
We don't get.
Good comments get a free voucher.
We do not get. we do not get bad comments. Not that I. Well, actually, I don't think we have actually. But anyway, so sample number 3 of this particular video is Peerless. So Peerless is a really small distillery in Louisville on the Row. Absolutely love Peerless. If you get the opportunity to meet the distiller there, Corky is amazing. Good conversation. But again, Peerless Double Oak. Gentlemen, thoughts? To me, on the nose, this is quintessential Double Oak on the nose.
Yes.
I mean, it just, you can smell the wood in the grains and just on the nose itself, not
Stronger nose.
you know. Yes, it is definitely I think it's probably the strongest nose of anything on the table.
Yeah.
So, but in a good way. I am not knocking that at all.
This one's probably my overall favorite double oaked of not just these, but of all the double oak products that I've had. It's just, like you said, it's quintessential. It's got such a concentrated nose, concentrated palate. The flavors are all there. You get the coffee, mocha, chocolate, a little bit of the caramel and butterscotch. But this is what I want when I'm thinking double oaked, because it checks all the boxes of all the characteristics you're looking for.
Yeah.
I like to chew my bourbon, so the viscosity
Yeah,
and
it
mouthfeel
definitely-
on this is just top notch.
Does have a thickness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, Peerless Double Oak, I don't think we're going to get any negative comments from that one. So, if you can get this on the shelf wherever you happen to be in the world, by all means, do pick it up. It is a fantastic pour and excellent. So, can't knock this one at all. Absolutely enjoy it.
Award-winning bottle. Great one to make a lamp out of.
Oh, speaking of lamps, good segue. So we are one of the gentlemen who's helped with the video, George Crenshaw. I want to thank him. He has actually made several things that sit in my bar personally. He makes lamps out of used bottles. This is one of the examples of something that he most recently made. This is a Yamamoto bottle, which is probably one of the more ornate bottles that we have in bourbon. We don't get a lot of ornate bottles in bourbon, but he has made some really cool lamps out of some things. If you're interested in purchasing a lamp and you'd like to order something with your own bottle or whatever you want, as far as that goes, let me know in the comments section and I'll respond back and we'll go ahead and hook you two up and get you in there. He does an amazing job. He used to do artist makeup work in Hollywood. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, you can talk to him and he'll talk to you about his experiences with The Walking Dead. But anyway.
Do zombies drink bourbon?
I do not know. And I actually haven't seen... I don't know if George drinks a lot of bourbon, but he definitely doesn't know he's making his lamps. He makes quality lamps. So let us step outside of the state of Kentucky.
Yes.
So we are going to Sagamore in Maryland for our next one. So Sagamore, of course, started by Kevin Plank, who owns Under Armour. They have done some amazing things. Another wonderful distillery if you can get there. That thing has just grown and just into something awesome. They do a lot of really good stuff. but for our purposes, they're double oak. So, thoughts on the Maryland double oak?
First of all, this is a rye.
Yes, that
Yeah.
Well, it's still
Number one.
yes, but
Well, as opposed to
Correct. I
all
get
the rest
what
that we have on here are bourbons.
yes. So it is a rye, but that's what they do. They do ryes there. So, in fact, I don't think they do anything.
They have bourbons now.
They do have bourbons now.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, there you go. Sagamore has a lot of good stuff. I think their ryes are what I drink. So like, I just don't think about theirs outside of ryes.
I mean, you like viscosity. I mean, this has legs for days on the glass.
Yeah.
It just coats your mouth. It's beautiful.
It does, doesn't it?
This is actually my first time trying this.
Ooh.
10 out of 10.
Oh,
Thoughts?
yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, this
Look at
is a
that.
fantastic bottle.
If this were a cologne, I would wear it.
love that, Scott.
Intoxicating.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
There you go. Yeah, dab. I don't know. It's so okay. Really quick. So since we're here, colognes. This is Hope like bourbon.
She's getting there.
She's getting there. Hope
She's
get
getting
there.
there. She likes Weeders.
Okay.
She's developing quite the expensive palate.
There's
we were at
that's a
Willett
shocker.
yesterday, and the purple top, real sweet.
Oh,
ones
yeah,
are
yeah,
real,
you know.
who doesn't
Who
like
doesn't like
those? But
Angie's bottles, favorite bottles, are pretty good numbers too usually. So, but anyway, our boy Scott's getting married on Thursday.
Yay!
So congratulations, and from the day we're shooting this video at least, so he'll probably be married by the time you're watching this. But it's simultaneously, I'm just going to give you 2 words that will save your entire life, marriage, and existence. Yes, dear.
of course.
There you go. All right, it'll help you live a good quality life, like all of us old married guys do. So I think I'm the baby here. I've been married 15 years almost, and
34.
34,
25.
25. So commitment. See, 2. The camera guy's married 2, so he's still ahead of you though. So again, but
Sagamore?
he is joining the group. So
Oh, congratulations.
thoughts on Sagamore?
Appreciate it.
Well, first of all, as a person that's originally from Maryland, it's not from Baltimore, it's from Baltimore. And I think they have a football team there.
They do. I
What's it
might
called?
be a big fan.
Yes. So for 6 years, I had
I'm
been
a
drinking
huge Ravens
rye.
guy.
Oh, Raven. Baltimore Ravens. That's the name
Yeah,
of the team.
that's the name of that team. I know. It's weird.
So I had been drinking rye for about 6 years. And when I first started drinking, I just didn't like it at all. And I'd put up with it. I liked it a little bit. This is the one that flipped me.
Yep.
This is it. And I'm going to say Sagamore Peerless is another one that are the king of the
Yeah, that's good
finishers.
too.
But the Sagamore is what got me hooked on rye. And they are considered one of the 3 creams of the crop. Willet, you had brought up, not the purple top, but the green top, and many other Willets. Willet, Michter's, and Sagamore are considered the cream of the crop in the rye whiskey industry.
And if you want to learn about ryes, there's a really good round the barrel version of ryes, which I personally think is one of our better videos. That's
It was
my opinion.
fantastic.
But yeah, I'm a huge rye guy, so that yet again. But and so, anywho, so Sagamore.
Well, I'm a rye guy now, thanks to Sagamore.
There we go. So loved it.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So Sagamore Double Oak. Go pick you up a bottle. And then that'll lead us into our last of the initial 5 that we're going to really kind of rate. And then we've got 2 little extras here that we're going to throw in just for good measure.
So we get extra credit tonight?
We do. There is extra credit being offered for this particular video. Whenever we discuss something of a topic like ryes and wheats and double oaks and et cetera, some of the things that are coming down the line as well, we always talk about, we try and make them readily available bottles. Things that people can get on a regular basis because, like I said, he hadn't tried Sagamore Double Oak, but it's still a pretty regularly available type bottle. That's really kind of where we wanted to go with that. However, sometimes we'd like to throw in a few bottles that we have collected and accumulated that we think are worthy of comment. So our final one of the, I guess I would say standard lineup of what we're doing here is the Jim Beam Double Oak. So this is a pretty inexpensive bottle, probably about $23 on the shelf.
Yeah.
And again, I have had this before, so I kind of have a good idea on what I'm expecting. But I'm interested in hearing everybody else's thoughts.
Is there anything you haven't had before?
Oh, yeah. So at the reunion, I expect to taste a lot of things.
Oh, yes.
So
What I find interesting about this is the Jim Beam profile comes through.
oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's you can still get the peanut.
Yep.
And
It's
and
first thing Sten does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that on the nose, on the palate, where a lot of these other ones, it was really the oak that came through.
Right.
But the finish on this is nice with the oak. So if you're looking for an inexpensive way to try to get into double oaks,
Least expensive double oak
Yep.
there is, right on.
absolutely.
It is down there.
It's a great entry point to see if it's something you might want to explore further. But enjoyable, low proof sip.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, to me, I will say, if someone put all these five on a table, however, it's probably not my first pour. If I'm just being honest, the double oak does come through on it, but to me, it's just Jim Beam White Label with just a little hint of something extra in it.
Yeah.
But if you had $23 in your pocket and you wanted a double oak, where would you go?
Well, first of all, I have a wife and kids. I do not have $23 in my pocket. So, but if I did, it's excellent. And obviously, this one's on my bar. So obviously, I did spend the $23 on it at some point. And it is definitely good. So I'm not knocking. I'm just saying, again, thoughts of the five that we've had so far. How would we, what are our top two maybe?
I go Peerless and Sagamore as my top two.
I go Sagamore and Peerless.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that.
Seeing out though the Woodford and the Peerless in there, I think the Woodford to me is just again
Oh,
Classic.
It's
Yeah.
a standard.
I can't get past that. So
Would you like a history nugget on the double oak?
ooh, history nugget of the double oak.
So, Woodford Reserve made a critical decision in 2017 to take the bottle from the standard Woodford Reserve bottle. The double oak had a bright copper label. The double oak single barrel had a black label. And they decided they wanted to shake things up, make things look different on the shelf. So they went to a bottle that was twice as wide in 2017, the Squatty bottle, as we refer to it, not Scotty, but Squatty. And that year, their sales actually dipped quite a bit. And it was in 2017 where Jim Beam thought they would pick up some market share, introduce the double oak at a real cheap price, and they haven't stopped producing it since.
Well, there you go. So, see, we're getting even more educational. And that's why I kind of brought this guy on. I knew that we would get these little tidbits of knowledge that, I pick up from time to time. But, most drinkers aren't sitting there researching. So he knows this stuff and definitely helps. But, I mean, when you have the background of knowledge that he has with Whiskey University, if you want to learn these types of things and you really want to know more in-depth knowledge on bourbon, that's what the university's here for.
The most fun is drinking about it. The second most fun is learning about it.
Yeah, and the people, and I will say, my personal favorite thing about whiskey is the people. I just,
Yes.
we have our reunion coming up here in a few weeks in Bardstown. It's an annual event. It's not always in Bardstown, but this year happens to be in Bardstown. And I get to meet people from all over the country and Canada. And, maybe even next year we'll have Alaska. And maybe we'll even have some people coming in from overseas next year. Who knows?
Yes.
So, wonderful. Look into it. And speaking of things that you should look into while we are pouring these final two little samples that we're going to have for this, tell us about your podcast.
Yeah, so the Whiskey and Rock podcast, myself and my co-host D-Rock, we interview distillers, brand managers for all the different brands and labels, review products. We just put out our review of the newly released, as far as our taping goes, the Jack 10, 12, and 14. We had there's a new bourbon brand called Revelette. We just had the owners of that brand on, just kind of try to go a little in depth with our reviews and also with our conversations with the various distillers.
The Revelette, is that the pecan whiskey from Chicago area?
No, this is Revelette. This is the guys that own the local Jonathan's restaurants here in
Okay.
Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have they start off in the wine business, and then they got into the bourbon business as well.
Oh, nice.
So we do film from Nashville. For those of you that don't know, we're just south of Nashville here, and I just say I'm from Nashville, but nobody else in Nashville does that, by the way. So we're in, Smyrna.
What?
I know, but that was one of the things when I moved
I
here
thought you
that
were in Nashville.
stunned me. Nobody said they're from Nashville. They're from like all the little towns in here. I'm going to show these two bottles real quick.
Yes.
So these are the two little bottles, and these are not bottles that are regularly available, but these are two little extra pours that we're going to kind of dish out and give our opinion on. So this is Hirsch. This is a single barrel double oak Hirsch. Again, really excited about this one. I've had a few pours out of it. But awesome bottle. I want to hear some people over here, their thoughts on this particular one. It is a California whiskey, so we're throwing some West Coast in here. And then we are fortunate enough to have the double oaked as well from Woodford. So I'm really excited about this one because I have not had this.
Okay.
So I'm very, very excited about that bottle. So let's start with the Hirsch and move on into, which if you've had Hirsch before, they do a good job. Hirsch
They
is
do a
good
great
stuff.
job.
Their Horizon bottle is just excellent. I just think it's great. I enjoy the hell out of it.
So Hirsch is one of those whiskeys like Pappy Van Winkle that has a storied history that stopped dead in its tracks. Company in California bought a Kentucky company, and for the first 6 or 7 years they came out, they just weren't maybe all that good. They're owned by an international company called Hodling.
Yes.
And if you like Luxardo cherries, you can thank the Hodling company for that because they produce that. But I've never had the double oak. I've had 5 of their variations. This is the first time I've had their double oak.
This one's good.
It's good.
It has a sweeter sort of cherryish type note to it to me.
It does. I honestly wouldn't, if I didn't know it was a double oaked. I don't
wouldn't
know.
have said
I don't
that
know
either.
that I would have said it was a double oaked. It's
I
very
agree
it's
with
very faint on the
is.
very back of the palate on the finish. I get a little bit of oakiness to
What's
it,
the
but
proof on that?
See, to me, it's more of a. It's kind of got more of a wine.
it
type,
does.
Yeah, it does.
It
note
does much
to it.
more of a wine note.
And it is. Man, I'm getting old. 112.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I can taste the 112.
Yeah, you get older, by the way. Things just don't work the way they used to, I reckon.
That's solid, but
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
good. But I mean, like, as far as a double oak goes, it is surprising it's a double oak. Now, I don't know how long, of course, it was finished in that secondary barrel. It may not have been
very
very long.
important factor.
So right. So again, obviously, the longer it was in there, the more it's going to pay. And it is kind of. I mean, you can tell it's a little bit lighter
It is.
than what you know. So I wonder, it may not have been in the second barrel. And how long was it aged on the first one? I don't know the answer to that one either. But
So the average
It is good.
double oak goes in the second barrel for 4 to 6 months.
okay,
If it's less,
I would have
you're
thought
going to get
longer.
a lot less pronounced. So I have no idea.
And maybe that's it.
First try, and it's good.
Maybe that's it. It is
but
good. Yeah, it is good. So a little bit of thoughts on that one, but I enjoy it. I like it, but it does have a little bit more to me of a wine type note and finish to it.
Agreed.
So if you're into wines, this might be a double oak that you would find more comfortable and more acclimating to your own palate. So, and the last one, which I'm really excited about. Tell us about the double oak.
So the double oaked is basically aged 5 to 7 years in its original barrel. What's interesting about the double oaked is that it's not actually oaked again after the second oaking. What it is, they leave it in the secondary barrel for 2 years instead of 1 year. So that's where that double comes in. So it's 5 to 7 years in the initial barreling, and then finished in the second barrel for another 2 years.
So it's still 2 barrels. Though.
Yeah.
So they're not actually doing like a third or fourth barreling like that. It's just
Extended time.
extended period of time.
Yep.
Which, if you look at the average double oak being 4 to 6 months, this is well past that.
Oh, absolutely.